Welcome to the Cooper Garage here at Wistful Vistas, our home in suburban San Diego. This is going to be another installment of the installation of an Uclear Amp Pro communication systems, Bluetooth communication system, to an Icon variant helmet. What we have to install are the major components. The first are the two speakers, here and here, the speaker extensions. There's no mic. A little tough to see that little guy there, but those will go over the helmet brows. To install them, we have the help of the installation instructions. Very brief. They don't need to be too intense because I found these systems extremely easy to set up. And we'll have to set up a clip to attach the main unit to the exterior of the helmet. Should be noted that this is antenna and control system all in one. In this unit we don't have a separate antenna or control system. So stand by, this should be a fun voyage. The instructions say the earpieces should be mounted in parallel, that is, they should be more or less directly across from one another, and those little speaker extensions should be about 5 inches apart. We're going to mount those in the brow of the helmet here. We're actually right now looking down inside the helmet. We're going to mount those in the brow of the helmet there, and we're going to put the speakers into this area underneath this part here. Now the Icon Variant Pro doesn't give you much of a speaker recess. A little bit surprising, and I think one of the drawbacks to this helmet here in the 21st century, because almost everyone uses a Bluetooth set, but we're going to install them there using the pieces that they give us. So let's move on to a second phase. I've already removed the two cheek pieces in the Icon Variant helmet. They're very comfortable. They call this a Hydra Dry piece. They're very comfortable against the skin, I must say. And where we want that speaker to end up is more or less behind this open area, because this is about where your ear sits inside the helmet. So I've removed these already, getting prepared to install this, and I've also removed the chin piece here. Here are the inner helmet's components, as we talked about earlier, and just one thing to keep in mind. These do need to be parallel. We don't want them to be offset like this or like this. We want them to be parallel. And Uclear recommends that these are about 5 inches apart. I've found that's not exactly critical, so engineers, we don't have to get out a pair of calipers and measure that exact 5 inches. And this is the piece that we're going to snake through the helmet and connect to the main control unit. The thing to keep most in mind here is that we want that piece to be on the left side of the helmet. Reason being, our right hand is the throttle hand, and that's how we maintain our speed. So if we want to manipulate the control unit here, we want that to be mounted along the left side of the helmet. I've mounted a few on the back of the helmet, and that does work. I thought maybe that was a way to keep them out of harm's way, but I found, number one, they're very tough, so you don't need to keep them out of harm's way. And number two, it's a little hard to reach around behind. So we're going to install this one on the left side of the helmet. Now Icon gives us a bit of a challenge here mounting the piece that's going to take the outside control unit, because they've got this little, I don't know if this will come out well, but they've got this little style piece here along the exterior of the helmet. So ideally you don't want this, which has a temporary adhesive, you don't want this over any open areas. So that kind of limits us to locating around a position like this, which is maybe a little more than halfway around the helmet. But that's not an issue, so that's the way we're going to mount it. We're going to put it right there. I'm going to use a little Plexus plastic cleaner to clean off the part of the helmet where that temporary adhesive is going to be. You can find this at any auto parts or motorcycle store. It's a good cleaner, doesn't leave too much of a residue behind, and it'll just make the surface more receptive for the temporary adhesive that's contained on that clip. All right, it's time to mount the exterior clip, and we'll do that by removing the clear plastic strip over the top of the temporary adhesive pad. These can be removed after they've been installed. You need to use a little bit of a heat gun. Okay, we're going to install the exterior clip, and we do that by removing this little red plastic strip. You'll notice that I've gotten it started here off camera because it can be tedious to get it off, especially if you're a typical ham-fisted male trying to get that off. Ladies, you're going to always do better than us because you have better hand-eye coordination and much more delicate fingers when it comes to that. But we just peel this strip off, like so. We'll put that down and recycle it later. Got to save the rainforest. And then we're going to install this. Uclear helps us out by giving us an indication that this little ramp should be facing the direction from where that exterior control piece slips on. So we're just going to install it right there. And I'm using as my index the rubber, I'll call it protection ring at the bottom of the helmet. Really all we have to do is set it on there, press it for a few moments, and voila, we are literally done with phase one. It's that simple. By the way, get yourself a helmet donut when you work on helmets. This one I got from Cycle Gear happens to be an Icon, so it's Icon for Icon. But you can put your helmets on this, and it sure helps to do the work that you've got to do, or cleaning a helmet. You just set it down upside down, cradles it nicely. But that's how we hold it steady. We're done. Let's move on to the next part, a little more challenging. So I've got the right-hand side installed here, and you can see in this particular helmet it's perhaps not the optimum. We just don't have a speaker pocket. Hint, hint, Icon. It's the 21st century. Let's put some speaker pockets in these helmets. But it is there. That's the right-hand side. Here's the right-hand side chin strap, and we've got it set in there on its little Velcro pad. So phase two now, let's see if we can't thread that speaker end up over the brow. So I've spared you me snaking the wire through the interior of the helmet, but I've got the left side mic extension mounted inside the helmet now. Let's see if I can give you a nice little picture of it here. There it is in there, and the instructions say about 3/16 of an inch in and about 5.5 inches apart from side to side. I'll put that other side in just a moment. Uclear has a very nice set of instructions that are available as a PDF on the net, and they also do a very nice illustrated installation for you so that you can see how to put them in that way. But left side in, we're going to move over to the right side. Okay, left side is in. That's the side by the control unit. What I did in the case of this particular helmet is I lifted up the inner liner and snaked that all the way over from this side over here, right through the crown of the helmet, and then back down over to this side. You could also run it around the periphery at the back of the helmet through here. I've done that as well, but it's a little more secure to have it up inside that helmet. So there it is. Now we're going to install the next speaker extension, or excuse me, microphone extension. Okay, so both speaker sides installed and both brow mics installed. Nicest thing, you don't have to have that boom mic extending around inside of the helmet. And I've measured from this point to this point, and we're right around that 5 inches as the crow flies, as Uclear recommends. So next step is to reinstall the cheek pieces. So cheek pads back in and placed back in. exterior exterior unit runs in a nice position, not too much extra slack there. So it only remains to install that. Is it difficult? No, it's not difficult, but guys with big hands, I don't have big hands, but guys with big hands might find it a challenge. All right, this is charged up. It's telling me that because it's got a blue light. We're going to put this now on the outside of the unit. Till we hear a click. There it is. Hope you heard that. So we got our click there. The only thing to do after that is to install this unit into the back of the device. We need to match the shape of the connector, which goes just in like thus. A little hard for me to work with the camera here. I hope you don't mind. And I hope you get some sort of a vision there. But we just push that piece in, and we push it all the way in until it bottoms. They're a little stiff when they first get in. You've got to get it to a bottom point there, and we have a working helmet communication system. Now that looks pretty large, I think, in that particular view, but if you sit it down like this, it's just about the right size. And what's nice about it is that you've only got 3 buttons here, up and down arrows, and a button under this U-clear. And those are the only 3 buttons you need to learn how to use. You can receive voice calls and pick them up simply by saying hello, and listen to your music and your GPS the whole time. Very handy and not that difficult of an install. As I say, we're cooking here. Next phase will be to take this helmet out on the street. We'll ride either my 2014 MV Agusta Brutale or my 2014 BMW S1000R. I think I'll take the S1000R. It's a little louder than the Brutale is, actually. That'll be more of a test. All right, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned a little something out of it. And on to the next step.